This video's to the bankers and the people who are taking part, owning, running, employed in the meat industry. There is no sustainable way to raise animal foods in order to meet the world's growing demand. It just cannot be done, okay? It's destroying the planet. Animal food production is one of the world's leading causes of climate change. It is methane. It's a deadly threat. It's 100 times more, has more impact on the environment as far as climate change is concerned. And this excessive methane production that's now happening across the globe in order to keep up with consumer demands of a growing global population, which will keep on growing, because while ever women have got no rights and little girls are being forced to reproduce, okay, the population is going to explode unless we get real and we give the women rights and we give them education and we give people a proper life worth living and let the population stabilise, as they did in Britain after the post-war boom, when women were receiving half pay and were totally dependent on men mostly. Yes, there was a population rise. As soon as women got the rights and got jobs and educated, population, the birth rates fell. We had the BBC moaning about how we were going to have an ageing population. So, you know, you will not get round this, because either way your industry will stop. Because if we get the climate change, the methane, because the methane that's being produced by this is actually contributing to massive amounts of methane that will be actually released from Siberia and the Arctic, because the permafrost is melting, and when that melts you're talking massive amounts, major amounts of methane, and that will dramatically change the climate, and you will all lose your industries anyway. So you've got to stop now, okay? And bankers, you are going to print the money, you are going to give it to people, you're going to invest in communities, you're going to invest in clean energy, you are going to compensate the farmers and the people who are dependent on this right now. You people are going to do it, because you're going to get together with humanity and intelligence and universal law. You're going to accept the scientific fact of your light being body, okay, your soul. It's no longer a myth or a mystery or a fiction. It is actually a quantum scientific fact, a quantum energy scientific fact. So we need to stop eating these things, and unfortunately with change, if we're going to get any benefits, yes, we do need to go through a little hardship. It does mean that people won't be able to be enjoying excuse me, their meat anymore and their dairy products. You're going to have to give them up. You either give them up or you give your planet up. Eat and stuff your stomach away and throw the whole planet away. Look at the face of the little children and say, I couldn't give a shit about you or your future, because I'm just going to, because I want my bacon and I want my milk. That's what you're going to do, ain't it? You're going to look at the little children, you're going to say, stuff you, stuff your future, stuff all the animals. You're going to look at all the wildlife, all the creatures, plants, everything that's grown and created for millions of years on earth. You're going to look at all that, aren't you? And stuff your face with your animal produce, aren't you? Because you couldn't give a shit, because actually you might as well just be a fucking worm. You see these people, okay, losing their disability benefits. More than 80 people a month are now dying after being declared fit for work. Okay? 1 in 5 benefit-related deaths involve sanctions. People are dying because they're having their benefits cut. Their meagre benefits. The most vulnerable people. Why? Because this system cannot employ them, or because they're sick. And we're saying that oh no, we don't need to look after the sick anymore. Once you're over 60, no, we don't need to treat your cancer at the NHS. Is that the kind of society you think you'll be living in? They haven't even got that long. If you don't change now, okay, you've not got more than 20 years. And that's the fact. Are you going to wait, people, for these mad men to change, or are you going to change yourselves and ask for change? And as I say, to the corporations and the bankers now, those of you among you who are human beings, you are all going to have to wake up. You're going to have a conference, a meeting about how to address the problems that our planet is facing collectively. Because you corporations are full of human beings, aren't you? Surely you're not all sadists and paedophile supporters. And as I say, the bankers, you're going to have to forget the debts now. You know, this debt is a criminal debt. It's a fiction. Your whole money system's a fiction. You're going to have to start investing in hemp and printing your money on hemp. And, you know, this gold standard, it needs to disappear. There's not enough gold to go round, and it is a crime to base a money system on a very limited resource. Of course it is going to mean that only a very limited amount of people are going to end up with any amount of money. And look what they're spending it on. Nuclear power, gambling, buying their stupid houses, and private jets. And this, you know, we as a species now, we need to wake up. And if these people have to, you know, you can sit back and you can think that it's okay for a benefit claimant, an unemployed person, to die because they've been sanctioned and they can't pay the rent, they can't pay the bills, and they've been told they've got to go to the local food bank and take potluck about what they're going to eat that day. Because they're not going to have a choice, are they? What have people donated to the food bank? Are you a vegan? Oh, sorry, we haven't got any vegan food. Yes. Have you got an allergy? Have you got a milk allergy? Oh, sorry, no, we haven't got any soy milk. You know, these are the realities that people are having to live in this system. And you are going to have to change, and you're going to have to do it quick. Because, you know, this idea that we can lose 2/3 of our wildlife. What? So we can farm animals so they can have a horrible, disgusting life. And it is, and then we find out that it's actually destroying the climate. And that it's going to contribute to releasing even more massive quantities of methane. Yes, to those who have, more shall be given. So yeah, we've got methane, haven't we? Are we going to get more methane? To those who have less, even that which they have will be taken away. Well, we've got less oxygen. Our planet is producing less and less oxygen. Oh, so even what little bit of oxygen we have will be taken away. You need to wake up, people. You need to wake up. You need to lose your life in this world. And if you're not prepared to do it, to save our planet, if you can carry on living the way you live in, and you're not prepared to do it, you can look into the face of a little child and forget that child's future. Because you want to carry on eating your bacon butties. You don't deserve a planet. You don't deserve a life. And, you know, the very fact that people can, you know, I am living in a society where I'm being asked to vote for Jeremy Corbyn, okay? who calls himself Labour, a Labour leader, and he's actually the best of them. But still, he's got his dirty little bottom sat on those green benches in the House of Commons, drawing in his fucking 70+ grand a year wage, and he's probably got a second home as well. And he's still sat there knowing that 1 in 5, okay, 10 out of 50 benefit claimants who are on sanctions are, 50 have died. They've been sanctioned and people are dying. They're committing suicide. This is, and the fact that you can still sit in that parliament and call yourself a Labour leader. You can sit in there, Labour, and not just get up and walk out. And that's why you're all disgusting. I've got absolutely no respect for any of you that stay in that house of filth, house of iniquity, house of idiocy. And I am seriously asking you, the bankers, the corporations, the people in there, pledge to go vegan, pledge to close down the animal farms, end the misery of these creatures that are just suffering. What? So that all our wildlife can disappear? The animals that actually have free lives? We can lose them so that we can have these animals to live in absolute misery and face fear, terror and horror. And the scale of it now is just so huge. It's never been so huge. People never used to eat meat on the scale that they're eating it now. And it is contributing to the methane. And the more methane you produce, the more methane this planet will produce. You've got to learn to live in balance. Live with balance. You have to learn that. That's where the economy is, in the balance. In keeping the balance. That's the economy. Not in how much you can tilt the balance in your favour, because you're destroying the planet. Wake up.